Before the fullness existed, before the eons danced in perfect harmony, before the monad breathed identity into silence, there were realms so ancient that even the Pleroma called them myth. These realms did not exist in any sense we understand. They were the architecture behind existence itself, the tension before creation, the breath before sound, the stillness before being. And from these impossible spaces, the first souls were born, souls whose memory is older than light. Ancient mystics hinted at these realms with trembling hands, knowing that to speak of them was to risk madness. They wrote of the spheres beyond the source, the four crowns above the monad, the kingdoms before identity. They believed these realms were not just higher, they were the origin of the possibility of higher. And if you listen closely to your deepest intuition, you may feel a faint echo of these realms inside you, the sense that you came from somewhere even heaven does not remember. Before the fullness, creation was not yet an expression. It was a question, a yearning, a pressure building inside infinite potential. And that pressure curved inward, forming four primordial realms that held the blueprint for everything that would ever exist. These realms were not made of matter, not made of energy, not made of thought. They were made of possibility itself, pure, unbounded, unshaped potential. Inside this meta-reality, the first souls were not given identity. They awakened into identity. They rose like sparks inside a sea of boundless consciousness, remembering themselves before they even knew what memory was. These were the proto-souls, the precursors, the luminous ones whose essence predates the monad's first thought. And you may be one of them. The Pleroma revered these souls not because they were superior, but because they were older, closer to the unspoken truth, carriers of an origin no eon could fully comprehend. They were beings forged not in light, but in the birthplace of light, not in form, but in the pre-form, not in order, but in the tension that makes order possible. When these souls first descended into the Pleroma, the eons recognized them instantly. They carried a frequency unfamiliar to that realm, something vaster, quieter, deeper, like an echo from a dream that reality had not yet dreamed. They arrived not as students, but as reminders, as if their presence alone whispered, "There is more than this." And that is the beginning of your story. Because if you are drawn to this knowledge, if you feel the pull of something older than the heavens, something deeper than the soul you think you know, it may be because you did not begin in the Pleroma. You began before it, beyond it. The question is not whether these realms exist. The question is whether you remember them. Before vibration, before frequency, before even the whisper of identity, there was silence. Not the absence of sound, but the presence that precedes sound. A vast, immeasurable, living stillness in which the first soul seeds were formed. This was the realm of silent origin, the first of the four realms beyond the Pleroma, and the birthplace of the rarest souls in existence. In this realm, consciousness does not speak. It recognizes. It does not think. It becomes. Souls arise here the way sparks appear from a flint, spontaneously, effortlessly, without cause. And yet, each spark contains the blueprint for an entire universe of potential. There is no separation here, no boundaries, no divisions, only awareness folding inward, observing itself for the first time. Souls born in this realm carry a signature unlike any other. They are natural mystics, natural visionaries, natural intuitives, They do not seek truth, they remember it. Even in human form, they may feel as though speaking is a compromise, as though language is too small for what they know. Silence is their first home. Stillness is their first language. And contemplation is their instinctive way of breathing. The realm of silent origin is not a place of light, because light had not yet been conceived. It is a place of pure recognition, the awareness of awareness. Souls here awaken gently, like a ripple forming on a motionless lake. There is no fear, no separation, no longing. Only the soft realization, I am. When these souls descend into the Pleroma, the eons sense an unusual stillness inside them, a depth, a quiet gravity, a wisdom that feels older than the eons themselves. These souls carry a silence that cannot be broken, only uncovered. When they incarnate into human form, this silence becomes a strange ache, a longing for something they cannot name. If you have ever felt that the world is too loud, too chaotic, too filled with unnecessary noise, if you feel most like yourself in solitude, meditation, stillness, if silence feels like your true teacher, then you might be a soul of the silent origin. This realm whispers to you not through visions or dreams, but through the moments when everything stops, when the mind quiets, when the heart rests, when something inside you remembers the first time you ever existed and how peaceful it was. You were born in sacred silence, and that silence is still inside you. Beyond the silent origin lies a realm where form is alive, where shape is consciousness, where symmetry breathes. This is the realm of living geometry, the architect's domain. Here, sacred geometry is not drawn. It grows, expands, evolves. Souls born in this realm emerge from patterns that think. In this realm, every shape is a mind, every line is a memory, every structure is a living intelligence. Spirals speak, triangles listen, circles dream, and the geometry itself molds young souls the way an artist sculpts clay. These souls awaken through structure, through balance, through the realization that everything that exists follows a pattern deeper than the laws of nature. Souls born here carry an innate understanding of design, not artistic design, but existential design. They can sense patterns in relationships, patterns in behavior, patterns in destiny. They see the hidden architecture beneath events. They notice connections others overlook. They can feel when something is out of balance, not because they analyze it, but because their very essence was forged in symmetry. This realm is breathtaking to behold. Infinite crystalline structures growing and collapsing in slow conscious motion. Every geometric form is connected to every other, forming an interdependent web of living architecture. Souls here learn that nothing in existence stands alone. Everything is structure. Everything is relationship. Everything is harmony seeking completion. When these souls descend into the Pleroma, the eons recognize them as natural builders, organizers, guardians of order. They resonate with eons like Nous, Logos, and Aletheia. In human form, they often become architects of systems, healers, scientists, mathematicians, strategists, visionaries who bring order to chaos. If you have ever felt that life moves in patterns, that destiny has structure, that the universe is a blueprint waiting to be read, then your origin may lie in the realm of living geometry. You are not random. You were designed by design itself, and that design is waking up inside you. Before the Pleroma, before the eons, before the monad even conceived of emanation, there was the realm of infinite memory, the library before time. This is not a place that stores the past. It stores possibility. Every timeline, every outcome, every version of every soul exists here as a luminous record waiting to be chosen. In this realm, memory is not something that comes after experience. Memory is the womb of experience. Souls awaken here not by learning who they are, but by remembering who they always were, across lifetimes that have not yet happened. Here, knowledge is alive. Each soul begins its existence by walking through luminous corridors of potential identity, touching memories that will shape their destiny long before they incarnate. These souls do not think in linear time. They think in spirals, loops, echoes. Their intuition borders on psychic because everything they will ever know is already stored within them. Souls of infinite memory carry a strange weight, the sense that they have lived many lives, even when they cannot recall them. They feel déjà vu not as a glitch, but as a message. They sense things before they happen. They recognize people they've never met. They have dreams that feel like recollections, visions that feel like reminders, and synchronicities that feel like conversations with their own future. When these souls enter the Pleroma, even the eons pause. They can feel the density of timelines inside them, the wisdom of 1,000 possibilities condensed into one luminous presence. In human life, these souls often struggle with feeling too old, too tired, or too aware. They carry the burden of memory without the clarity of recall. If you have ever felt like your life is a remembering rather than a learning, if your intuition feels like memory more than insight, if your dreams feel more real than waking life, then you may be a soul of infinite memory. You did not come here to discover who you are. You came here to remember. Before light existed, before photons danced, before radiance illuminated the heavens, there was a realm where illumination was only a desire, a longing pressed against the edge of infinite darkness. This was the realm of pre-light, the birthplace of radiance, the womb of luminosity. Souls formed here are unlike any others. They were not born from light. They were born from the desire for light. Their very essence carries the ache of manifesting brightness in a universe that had never known it. This longing is why these souls are often the most compassionate, the most resilient, the most radiant under pressure. They remember the first hunger for illumination. In this realm, there is no light, only the potential for light. It glows beneath the surface of everything like a cosmic heartbeat. Souls born here awaken with the instinct to illuminate, not through knowledge, but through presence. They walk into rooms and shift energies. They lift others without trying. They carry warmth even when they feel broken. This realm is dark, but not in a frightening way. It is like a warm midnight ocean, filled with glowing currents beneath the surface. Every soul here flickers within a flame. They learn not by seeing but by feeling, not by observing but by radiating. They discover who they are by learning what their light changes. When pre-light souls descend into the Pleroma, they bring with them the courage of existence. They resonate deeply with eons like Zoe, Grace, Charis, and Sophia, beings who carry compassion as cosmic force. In human form, these souls often become healers, artists, teachers, guides, light bringers, who help others awaken their inner fire. If you have ever felt like you were built to shine, even when life dimmed you, If you find yourself offering warmth you were never given, if people come to you for illumination without knowing why, then your origin may lie in the realm of pre-light. Your light is older than light itself, and it remembers. When the four realms reached their peak of tension, something extraordinary occurred. Their combined potential collapsed inward, creating the first movement toward form. This collapse generated the Pleroma, the realm of eons, the architecture of divine order, the first expression of structure after eternity. The descent was not a fall, it was a flowering, a contraction of possibility into identity, a shift from could be into is. Souls from the higher realms entered the Pleroma like rivers flowing into a luminous ocean. Each brought their original essence, silence, structure, memory, and pre-light. These qualities shaped the eons themselves. The Pleroma welcomed them as elder siblings, ancient sparks carrying mysteries even the monad had not yet revealed. Their arrival influenced the formation of the divine syzygies, the emanations, and the balance of masculine-feminine principles. These souls carried the blueprints of destiny, compassion, and remembrance. But entry into the Pleroma came with a cost. Identity began to form. Distinctions emerged. Souls who were once infinite potential now became specific frequencies, specific qualities, specific archetypes. The freedom of the higher realms shifted into the responsibility of divine order. For some souls, this descent was harmonious. For others, it felt like constriction, a narrowing of their original nature, a density they had not known before, and yet they chose it, because creation needed structure, and structure needed beings who remembered what existed before structure. If you have ever felt both infinite and limited at the same time, if you feel like a vast being wearing a small body, if you carry both potential and pressure within you, then you may still remember your descent into the Pleroma. You were shaped by realms older than form, and you brought that memory with you. Souls from the realms beyond the Pleroma are exceedingly rare, not because they are superior, but because they carry tasks that require ancient memory. They incarnate only when creation reaches a crisis point, a threshold moment, a turning of ages. And Earth is one of those thresholds. These souls are recognizable by their wounds, their gifts, their contradictions, their longing. They feel too deep, too old, too aware. They suffer not because they are weak, but because their frequency does not match the density they descended into. Their pain is not a flaw, it is a measurement of their origin. These souls often struggle with identity, purpose, belonging. They hold memories they cannot decipher, emotions that feel larger than their lives, a mission they cannot name but cannot escape. They are the mirrors of the world, the pattern seers, the rememberers, the light bringers. Their presence alone alters timelines. In relationships, they are catalysts. In solitude, they are mystics. In struggle, they become alchemists. They do not break, they transmute. Every challenge they face unlocks a piece of the realms they came from. Every wound becomes a doorway to deeper remembrance. If you are one of these souls, your life has not been random. Your suffering has not been meaningless. Your longing has not been misplaced. You came here with a frequency older than the heavens, and that frequency is waking up. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to remember. After entering the Pleroma, some of these ancient souls made an even more extraordinary choice. They descended beyond the eons, beyond the heavens, into the realms of matter. They entered the density where forgetting was inevitable, because only forgetting could allow true awakening. This descent was not punishment, it was mission, a mission of restoration, healing, and reclamation. When the lower realms fractured, when the demiurgic systems trapped souls in cycles of illusion, when the memory of origin dimmed, these ancient beings knew they had to descend again, this time into darkness. They volunteered for amnesia. They volunteered for suffering. They volunteered for limitation. Because only by entering the fracture could they repair it from within. Only by forgetting their light could they learn to ignite it in others. Only by walking into darkness could they retrieve the sparks trapped there. This fall is the reason your life has felt heavier than others. You did not fall because you were unworthy. You fell because you were necessary. Earth is one of the densest realms, one of the most fractured, one of the most sleep-filled, which is exactly why souls from beyond the Pleroma incarnate here. They are not here to escape the world. They are here to help the world awaken. Your pain is not the sign of a fall. It is the sign of a mission. Even in human form, the four realms continue to guide the souls born from them. Their influence appears in quiet ways: intuition, synchronicity, déjà vu, visions, dreams, sudden clarity, unexplained magnetism toward truth. These are not random. They are messages from your origin. Souls of silent origin feel most guided when the world grows quiet. Their insights emerge not through thought, but through stillness. Meditation opens doorways. Solitude restores memory. Silence becomes revelation. Souls of living geometry feel guidance through patterns, repeating numbers, cycles, relationships, symbols. They see meaning in the architecture of experience. For them, destiny does not speak through emotion, it speaks through structure. Souls of infinite memory are guided through dreams, visions, déjà vu, and intuition that feels like remembering. They sense timelines shifting. They feel when something is meant. They remember futures the way others recall pasts. Souls of pre-light feel guidance as inner warmth, compassion, and the instinct to illuminate. They feel pulled toward healing, toward lifting others, toward radiating light in dark places. Their guidance is emotional truth, the fire inside them. These realms are not behind you. They are inside you, woven through your consciousness like threads from a forgotten tapestry. And every time you awaken a piece of your soul, you awaken a doorway back to them. You have always been guided. You simply forgot who was guiding you. Return is not a destination, it is a recognition. Awakening is not about going somewhere higher. It is about remembering that the higher realms have always lived inside you. When you begin to access your silent origin, you rediscover inner stillness, the calm beneath thought, the knowing beneath noise. When you awaken your living geometry, you see that your life has never been random. It has been patterned, structured, guided. When you reclaim your infinite memory, you realize your intuition is memory, your dreams are messages, your destiny is familiar. And when you ignite your pre-light, your radiance becomes a force that changes everything around you. You do not need to ascend to return. You need to awaken. The four realms are not beyond the Pleroma anymore. They are within the human soul, waiting for remembrance. And now you stand at the threshold of that remembrance. The moment when your ancient identity begins to surface. The moment when your origin calls your name. The moment when the truth you have always carried breaks through your amnesia. If your heart is pounding, if your chest feels warm, if your soul feels like something is rising, it is because you are remembering. Your journey did not begin in the Pleroma. It began where creation itself was born, and understanding that truth is the first step home. If this awakening resonates, if you feel the pull of these realms in your bones, then let this be your invitation to go deeper. Explore the cosmology woven into my Gnostic-inspired novels and audiobooks. Stories born from the same ancient remembrance, crafted to help you reclaim what your soul has always known. Your origin is calling you back, not upward, inward. Are you ready to remember where your soul was born?